Hello, great people. Welcome back to Global Happenings. Today, we are so excited to have you again. Asari Dokubo is shaking the entirety of Nigeria from north, south, east, and west. Right now, the focus is the southeast, especially the need for Biafrans to secede from Nigeria. Don't forget that immediately Bola Tinubu came on board, he has been very vocal, talking virtually on a daily basis, dragging people. Whether you are a journalist and you say any rubbish about him, he will drag you. Whether you call him out, whether you are a police officer and all of that, he will drag you. Military, or he had dragged virtually everybody. But this time around, the Southeasterners are screaming, especially the politician, considering what he had said. Even Northerners are crying and shouting that this issue should be put under check based on the way he is screaming, while some other people outside the country are fully in support. Even the coalition of northern group, they are also very much in support of what Asari Dakubo is saying about Biafra. Now, the big question is, what is that thing he has said? Let's look at it, and also the comments from some very key stakeholders in the South. Isohanes Ndigbos, Joibo Kwe, and the likes. You'll be shocked their standpoint about it and what the Northerners are saying. The Apex Igbo Sociocultural Organization, Hanes Ndigbos, Arewa Consultative Forum, and some leaders from the Southeast have faulted the call by the former Niger Delta agitator Asari Dakubo, asking President Bola Tinubu to let the Igbos secede from Nigeria. The Nnamdi Kanu-led indigenous people of Biafra had demanded that the Igbos be allowed to break away from Nigeria over allegation of discrimination and neglect by the government of the former President Muhammadu Buhari. In June 2021, Kanu was arrested in Kenya and extraordinarily brought back to Nigeria to face prosecution bordering on terrorism. In a viral video, Dokubo urged Tinubu and the National Assembly to see to the amendment of the Constitution to allow the Igbo break away from the country in accordance with Kanu's demand. He said he would gather the signature of 1 million citizens in support of his idea. Dokubo stated, and I quote, "Please, in the name of God, why do we allow this vicious cycle of irritation of people who claim to be victims when they are the oppressors and the people offending others? Let the Igbos go so that there will be enough resources for other people to manage. They don't even need a referendum. The President and National Assembly should meet, and someone courageous enough should sponsor a bill at the National Assembly. There should be a constitutional amendment. The 5 Igbo states and any group of people who wants to join them should go. We have a lot to gain if we let these people go and turn their country into heaven on earth. Please, National Assembly President Bola Tinubu, I am begging you, let the Igbos go so that we will rest and they too will rest, and they should be barred from coming into our country." That is where the wahala is. In his reaction, the spokesperson for Hanes Ndigbos, Chief Alex Ogbonna, said well-meaning Igbo people did not consider Dokubo an individual to attract the attention of the group. Ogbonna said he could not comment on the matter at the moment until a decision was reached by the body, stating that the group could only respond if such a statement was made by other recognized socio-cultural groups. He further added, "For various reasons, we don't want to comment on self-government now. There will be a time Ohanese will take a decision on that. But if you watch what is going on, we have kept our comments on what is going on in government until we have a meeting. That is when I can comment on it, and Ohanese cannot be drawn to that level of responding to Dokubo as an individual." Also, the Director General of Voice of Nigeria and founding member of the All Progressive Congress, Osita Okechukwu, in an interview with one of our correspondents, described Dokubo's comment as null and void. I quote the words he said. He said, "Asari Dokubo should understand that Nigeria is under constitutional democracy governed by the rule of law, under which section of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is he mandating the President to act. If none, then his admonition is ultra-vires. Please, if Asari has gross with a few Igbos, he should go and sort it out with them. Otherwise, he should desist from the ancient fallacy of generalization. The Ndigbos live and invest in every nooks and crannies of our country, which gazette that we love our dear fatherland. Nobody should use the agitation of a few to paint all Ndigbos black. He also urged the Kuba not to abuse his alleged friendship with Tinubu. A chieftain of the APC in Lagos State, Mr. Joy Bokwe, also said that the majority of Igbo want social justice as stakeholders in the country and that only a few wants to secede. According to him, he said Asari Dokubo doesn't speak for us, and if we need people to speak for us, then it's certainly not Dokubo. If it's we the Igbos that will speak for the Igbo people, and most of you know our stand. The Igbos are not for secession because a lot is at stake. We are critical stakeholders in Nigeria. We have made humongous investment across this country and we belong to Nigeria. You can't tell a man to quit his house. All Igbo people want is social justice, equity, and fairness, and we have been talking about these things. The Igbos have the least number of states in Nigeria, the least number of commissioners and senators and the local government area. He also claimed that the Igbo receive the least resource allocation, which was why, according to him, the region wanted social justice. Meanwhile, member of the National Executive Council of the Arewa Consultative Forum, Alhaji Baba Sule Bisala, said the Kubo was not well informed of the country's history for him to make such comments. Bisala, who is also the Sakin Samu Zazu of Suleja, stated that secession of a tribe was alien to the Nigerian constitution, noting that the president who was being urged to assist in facilitating the breakaway was a unifier and would not heed such a call. He further added that a lot of people, especially the younger generation, do not know Nigeria's history. Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, all other tribes have all these interrelationship and marriages and businesses. It is not realistic for the Igbos to say they want to break away. The breakaway Dokubo is talking about will not work. A referendum is not even in our constitution. Meanwhile, the spokesperson for the coalition of Northern Group, Mr. Abdulaziz Suleiman, said he was in support of call for the breakaway of the Igbos, adding that the CNJ already instituted a lawsuit on the matter. He further added that Nigeria does not have to force the Igbos to remain with it. For more than 60 years, the Igbos and Biafrans have declared openly that they do not want to belong to Nigeria. They want their independent, separate states. They would have granted them independence and given them their Biafran Republic or whatever it is they want to call it. This is serious. Now, guess what? The reactions of Nigerians towards this. Most Igbos are saying they want to secede. Some are saying they do not want to secede. And the big question is, where do we stand? Now, Dokubo, as much as we say we do not want to listen to him, but for a while now he had some level of influence, and though we may disregard what he's saying, but I would say that he is communicating the minds of Nigerians. It's not just the minds of Nigerians, most of the Southeasterners. Now, if you are saying that nobody should listen to him, that he's not good enough to make statement that he is making, that reasonable number of Ndigbos do not give into what he is saying, what is happening in the Southeast? I just want to be very plain about this. What is happening in the Southeast? As far as Nigerians are concerned, if you claim that you are totally in charge, that you do not want a particular thing, you should be able to control those who are agitating for it. As we are talking, this guy said someone sat very far away, Simon Ekpa, and declared a seat at home. Why? Because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has not been released. He declared that there should be a seat at home. As we are talking right now, despite the fact that the 5 states have their own governors, sit at home is still ongoing. The military has been fighting it. I can still remember in the Ebonyi State, some 4 people were brought down because of that, still moving around to enforce it at home and all of that. So now you realize those guys are like controlling the economy of the state. If the so-called leaders in the Southeast do not want anything like seceding, why are they watching it happen? Which therefore means that these guys want Reasonable number of them want it out. They just want to take a walk. They don't want to stay. You can't imagine someone being in a marriage for as long as 60 years, and the only thing the person will say, or let me say him and the children, everybody, even the family, the in-laws, and everybody is saying that they want out. They want out. Small issues will come up. We want out. We have been marginalized. We have been marginalized, which is obvious also that they have been marginalized, because if you look at different parameters, you know that these guys have been overly marginalized in terms of sharing of even the last loan, 500 million naira that was taken, or billion naira that was taken. They had only 1%. Haba, 5 states have 1%. Southwest had 57%. That was one of the cases that Ndume brought up in the Senate, which the Senate president kind of didn't even want him to say anything. Now, these guys, South had about 17%. Southeast and Northeast had 4%. Southeast had 1%. Haba. Why, if someone is telling you that he doesn't want to stay, and you want him to stay, it's for you to listen to the background reason why he wants to go. And if he gives you it and it's reasonable, it's for you to look at it and say, okay, let's start acting in this capacity. When you start acting in that capacity and the person still say, we want to go, okay, you can allow them to go. But this one, we have not even done any of the things these guys have been crying for. They say we have been measured. Okay, look at the issue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. A case is on ground right now. And already the court have said, allow this guy to go. The way you guys brought him into the country is absolutely wrong. It's against international law and all of it. You are still holding him now till today. What do you really want? That's why this guy is saying, hey, let these guys go. Now the other people are saying, no, we don't want to go, blah 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 blah. Why don't you come out and tell the government, look at them in the eyes and say, sir, this is what we want, so that we can still stay in this country, than for you to keep quiet. Look at Southeast. Southeast is like a detached part of Nigeria that is not functioning in sync with Nigeria. Abba. We need to get these things fixed once and for all, so that there will be peace. For you to say what Kubo is saying is foolishness, blah 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 blah, you should not take advantage of it. He's trying to bring to the fore the common demands of some aggrieved persons. And I'm so sure a lot of people will really want to see that happen, especially in the Southeast. Let these issues be handled once and for all, and this for peace to abide. If you want to bring them into the fore, if you want to prove to them that we care, if you want to prove to them that we want them to stay, let's do some of the things that they have been demanding. If we finish doing those things that they have been demanding, and they still say, no, we know, we want to go, okay, brother, good, but these are the conditions that you have to meet, and that's all. I won't want to go further again, but what's your position?